He's the co-author of the book, The Clintons' War on Women. He served as advisor to Donald Trump in August of 2015. He served as a senior campaign aide to 3 Republican presidents. He's been around the block a few times, but doesn't look any worse for the wear. Roger, thanks for coming by our broadcast position.
I am delighted to be here.
Thank you, sir. And it's always been good to talk to you over the phone through this extraordinary year. Nothing that has been expected has come to fruition. Let's just get right into it. How disappointed are you that Ted Cruz missed the moment of unity that this convention could have featured?
Yeah, I'm actually astounded. I think Ted Cruz had a unique opportunity to set himself up for a future run after the 8 years of the Trump presidency, and instead he self-immolated. I mean, look at the example of Barry Goldwater. 1964, Goldwater's the nominee. Nelson Rockefeller did what Ted Cruz did last night. He takes a powder. So does George Romney. So does Bill Scranton. Richard Nixon sees only opportunity. He not only endorses Goldwater, he introduces him to the convention, then he hits the road and hits 38 states, more states than Barry hit for himself, on behalf of the Goldwater-Miller ticket. 4 years later, the giants of the Republican Party, Goldwater himself, Bill Buckley, John Tower, others, Carl Curtis, they're for Dick Nixon because he was with the party in its biggest battle.
Right.
So Ted Cruz could have been selfless, could have set himself up, and instead he decides to be Nelson Rockefeller, the last guy to get booed at a Republican National Convention. 4 years from now, or 8 years from now, in the unlikely event that Trump doesn't win, because I think Trump is going to win, Ted Cruz will be a pariah in this party. Conservatives have long memories. There's a lot of cross-pollination between the Trump supporters and the Cruz reporters. So Ted Cruz has cast his lot with the Bushes and the Romneys and the status quo, the people who brought our country to its knees, working with the Democrats. He's done. He's done.
I'm going to be accused of being a Trump sycophant and toady. That's not new for me this year, but I'm going to say it anyway. It sure does reflect pretty well on the candidate, on the nominee, that he would still allow Ted Cruz to speak. Eric Trump,
magnanimous,
very magnanimous. One of the Trump kids said, "That's my dad." He's not going to be afraid of somebody who has an opposing view, and perhaps in a way, Trump was giving some respect to Cruz by acknowledging his role as the second most vote getter in this arduous process, and he let him speak. But I think it's fair to say that Ted Cruz betrayed Donald Trump.
Yeah, first of all, there absolutely was an agreement by Ted Cruz that he would support the ticket, that he would say that he was voting for Trump. Perhaps he didn't agree to use the word to endorse, but the words don't matter.
Right. You could have had a support without.
I mean, Reagan addressed the 76th convention after Ford was nominated, and he said he supported the ticket, and he would campaign for the ticket, and he called for Republican victory in November. No such magnanimous nature of Ted Cruz. So it was a giant opportunity, and he blew it because he cannot see himself. You see, he thinks he's Ronald Reagan, and unfortunately, he's much more like the dark side of Richard Nixon.
Roger, final thing, as I know you got tons of interviews lined up. This is still, Ted Cruz's speech aside, this has been a very impressive week. A lot of great themes have been echoed. Trump confounds everybody, shows up the first night with the fog machine, driving the left crazy, driving his critics crazy. It's still been. I've been here all week, and I've been really, really pleased with the way it's turned out.
Yeah, no, I rate the convention right now as a B+, and it will become an A tonight when Donald Trump takes the stage. My hat's off to not only Donald Trump, who's a phenomenal candidate and a great communicator, but also to Paul Manafort and Tony Fabrizio and Jason Miller. These guys are pros. Trump has called in the A team to help him to get to the White House, and I think that he'll be ahead in the polls after this convention.
In terms of Trump supporters, he's had his A-team guy with Roger Stone. Roger, it's great having you stop by and joining us. And by the way, congratulations on being right. A heck of a lot more than a whole lot of people who do what you do.
Well, Mike, I'm glad to be here, and I'll come back anytime.
I hope so. Thanks. Roger Stone stopping by and joining us here on our Media Row broadcast position. Get his book, The Clintons' War on Women. It's a must-read.